So here we are. So there's this handout here, guys. I did this exact same thing last time, and you know, I had an outline of things that I thought we'd go through. So, but we didn't really get to all of it, and we stayed here longer. So I just thought I would ask you guys first to go through and look at the big bullet points and tell me if there's anything that you want to talk about first, and then we'll do that. And then also I want to say that I certainly do not claim to know everything about Paragon. And
that's what I heard.
That I claim that I don't know everything about Paragon. That's correct. So I'm open to learning from anybody else in here about something that they know that I don't know, because I use the things that I know work, and I've been doing the same things with Paragon for 10 years. So I'm not really doing anything new with Paragon. I'm going to show you how to turn the clock back and use Paragon 10 years ago. Ready? All right. Anybody? Who's got one? Which ones?
Well, I didn't read that. I just know what I was looking at.
You failed your first assignment.
No. It's probably on here somewhere.
Okay.
Notification well, is there a notification that when expires, instead of actually just going in there and looking at the thing?
I believe so. I think so.
And the other one is, if you have a client that's looking for something specific, can you somehow, or you can put their criteria that they want in there, and you get collaboration thing, notification or something that comes up exactly for them?
Collaboration meaning that they're able to click on something and communicate with you, or just the fact that they're getting information from you regularly about their criteria? Which one?
Yes, the second one.
The second one.
Yes, but
Okay.
so I can see it as
Totally.
soon as it comes up too.
Yep, totally. We'll talk about, that's really the main thing that I want to talk about today, because I've realized that there's a lot of people that don't know that exists. Like that's,
Yeah, I did.
yeah, right. And a lot of people who've been doing this for a long time that don't use that, and I just don't even, it makes me wonder, I don't know how you do business if you don't use that, honestly, because that's the basis of business here. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the idea that, and I'm not following the handout, Sally, right now. I'm going to run through the idea that you just met somebody. Okay, you just met a buyer, and a buyer tells you what they like and they want to buy a house. Okay, so you've interviewed them like we've talked about in Ninja. You've done some type of a buyer interview, and you said that you were going to send them listings. Okay, so first thing I would do is I would go to search, and I would go to residential, and I would start building a search. And let's just say that this person wants, can you guys see that, or is it way too small?
Should we go along with you and do this at the same time?
That'd be a good practice, I'd say.
Okay.
Is that way too small for you guys? I just want to.
It's too small for the camera.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So I would go through and I would build a search, and I've already got it set up to when I open up a residential search, it has some things filled in. It's got my status already filled in as active. It's got single house because I'm normally not looking for condos or duplexes. And then I would build, they'd tell me the price, and I'd say, okay, we're looking between 120 and 180. And then I would put in that they must have a basement, so I would put yes. They'll accept a storm shelter, so I'll put storm shelter. They must have 3 bedrooms.
Can I interrupt you for
Yep.
1 second?
Yes.
When I hit on my listings on this, it keeps flashing me out. So is there something I have to do to accept?
When you hit your listings, it flashes you out?
It flashes real quick and then it goes back out. So probably because of pop-ups or something.
I don't know. Neil, can you help Maggie real quick? Is that possible?
Because
I'm not sure what. Are you in Paragon right now?
Yeah.
and you're in Paragon and
And I go in here, a search, and see what it does. Help me. I just wanna be like the rest of you guys.
so what we're doing here is we did an interview with somebody.
Who's doing that?
We're asking them what they like in houses, and we're building a search that's gonna live on, and it's gonna run every single day.
I don't know what.
Okay? Do you guys do that now? Raise your hand if you do that now.
Do what?
What?
You build a search and you have it automatically send people emails.
No, I've never done that.
Okay. All right.
So,
So in order to do that, we have to build the search first, and they only want ranch. Okay. So I'm gonna do ranch, and then they only want Topeka. So I'm putting Topeka. So it doesn't matter what you put in there. All right. You've built your search. So then what I would do is I would save my search as. So save search as. Does everyone know the difference between save and save as?
I've never used save as.
Save as means that you're going to change the name of whatever you're saving right now.
oh,
Save means that I'm just going to save it wherever it saves. This is Word documents, this is Excel, this is anything that you ever save on a computer. If you click save, it just saves it as it's already named and puts it wherever it puts it.
oh,
If you
okay.
click save as,
Yeah.
it names it whatever, you get a chance to rename it right now. Okay?
Can
you
we
do-
go to this point on, can we go back and change it?
Yes. You can always change a search.
So just do Topeka. 'cause
Yep.
I'm-
Anything you want. It doesn't matter what you've got in your search criteria right now. It
If
doesn't
they
matter.
want a school, you put the school.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a school like
Yep.
Washburn
Yeah,
Rural.
that's what I usually end up.
Lot size, garage, all that kind of stuff. Whatever you want to put in the search, you do that. You click Save Search As, and then you change the name. And I'm going to change it to Presentation Guide Search. I'm going to call it 2018 because I've got searches in here that are 10 years old. Sometimes I go back and they want to sell their house, so I just pull up the comp search that I pulled last time and change it, and I save it as the new year. So now I've got an old search and a new search, and I don't have to do that work all over again because I already did it 5 years ago.
So if this is for someone particular though, you have exact criteria in there for them, and you can name the search as their name.
That's right. The only search that I'm ever saving is for somebody in particular. And a lot of times it'll be, I'll call it I don't know, rental house, because he has another house. These are the rental houses that he's looking for. That way, when I go back, all I have to do, and you know what, I'm going to change that. I'm not going to call it Presentation Guy. I'm going to call it Jones XXX Guy. All right, Larry. All right, Larry Jones. So I always save it with the name, the last name first, a comma, his first name. That way, someday I just type in Jones and it pulls up all the searches that I've ever done for Jones, and they're all right there. So I never delete a search unless I never want to talk to somebody again. Or
Now,
they don't want to talk to
when
me.
that automatically sends to the client, do they see that name?
I'll
What do they
show
see
you
as
what
the type?
I'll show you what they see. Okay, so right now we're creating this name of the search, and you have to look down here. Number 2 says Save Search, Template with Criteria Values, Template without Criteria Values. I'm doing template with criteria values. Criteria is all the stuff that we put in that they want. Okay, and then assign as default. I don't want this to be my default because I'm doing this for one guy. If I wanted to make this my default search, so every time residential came up, then it had all these values in it, then I would click this second box right here. But I don't want that because I'm doing this for Larry Jones. I'm going to change that just so it doesn't confuse me 10 years from now. Jones X. Then after you've named it, then you click Contact, because what I'm going to, now we're doing this all at the same time. We met somebody. We have a sheet, our buyer interview that we have. We're building a search with their criteria. We're naming a search and saving it forever in Paragon. And now what I need to do is attach it to this guy, attach it to Larry Jones. So I put Larry Jones inside Paragon right now in my contact list. So I click contact right here. My search is named just what I named it right there. And now it says assigned to contact. Well, if I type in Jones, it's going to pull up everybody that I've ever put in named Jones. But I don't have Larry Jones because I just met him. So I can't do that. So I have to add a contact. So I add contact right here. Oops. I click add contact. And then I just need 3 things. All I need is a first name, a last name, and an email address. So I put Larry X Jones, and then his email address is 12345 @gmail.com. And then I save that. And this is gonna create Larry Jones inside of Paragon, and he's always gonna be there forever unless I delete him. And it's also going to take this search and attach it to Larry Jones contact. Okay? So I click save right now. So it added the contact. And if I click save right now, it's just all it's going to do is save the search and the contact. It's not really going to set up any kind of action. It used to be that you had to do all this separately, but now you can do it in this one window right now. Okay? So I'm going to do the next step, which is going to be, instead of clicking save, I'm going to click save and notify. Okay? So save and notify means that I'm saving the search, I saved the contact, I connected the two to each other, and now I'm going to set up the notification, what they're going to get out of Paragon automatically, regularly. Does everybody know how to do this already? Am I preaching to the choir?
No, go on.
Okay. So then I click save and notify right now. It's going to bring up another window. Now I am actually inside of this contact. You see this? See how it opened up this tab right here that says contacts? We were here. We were over here in residential search, and I was saving that. When I did save and notify, it opened up this tab, contacts, which you can always open up if you just click contacts right up here. You can always open this up and go to this contact. I'll show you. Right now, well, I'll just do what I'm doing, and then I'll come back and do it that way, all right? So we're inside of Larry Jones. It says it right there. Down here on the 3rd tab, it says buyer activity. And it's got the search that we just saved right there. Jones X Larry search 2018 rental house, all right? So if I click this, I could have like 5 of them for this. You can have 5 for one contact, okay? In fact, I have 3 of my own name in Paragon just so I can send myself automatic emails. I've got 15 automatic searches set up just for other stuff that I'm looking for in general. Land out in Shawnee Heights, land in Seaman, whatever. What do you?
Will you go back one? Because I didn't have like an email address to put in, so what popped up after you put in the contact?
I would click this, I'd click save search as, I'd click contact, I'd do add contact, and that's when I put in the email address.
Right, and then after that, what came
Save and notify. Once you do that, then you click save up there, it's gonna bring you back to this screen, and you're gonna click save and notify. Okay? So now I go right back to where I was. All right. So I'm clicking on this search, there it is, and here's all the options down below it. And what I want to do is I want to do email notification, because that's simple. There's something else that's set up. It's called Collab Center with Auto Notify. I don't know how to use that. They brought that out in 2012, and that's too new for me. I'm not doing that. Okay.
It's very beneficial though.
I
Guess
can't-
we'll have another class on that.
Yeah, I can't teach that.
So
So
is the email notification that you're doing then instead of the collaboration, is that email notification going to you and to them?
that's correct. So I click email notification.
It only goes to her too if she does the BCC.
That's right. So right now, it takes me into the email notification, and I set that up, how I want that to go out to them. So I don't like this real estate notification thing for him. I might say automatic search, automatic rental search for Larry Jones. And then over here, see this box that says BCC me? you have to have that clicked. I have it set up to where it always comes up that way. You have to do that in preferences, but if you just do it, I don't know if it's automatic that way or what, but if not, you have to click BCC me, and that's going to make it to where every time they get an email from you, you get the same email from yourself, so you can see what's popped up. So
That's gonna be my next question, so you'll always see every time they were notified.
if I want to, because if I don't want to, if they're just, because I use this to keep in touch with people from who bought 5 years ago. Sometimes I never turn it off. I just turn me off, you know.
But
Turning
wouldn't it
me
be
off.
nice to be sure you get a copy so that you might be expecting a call? And you'd know what they're calling about.
Yes, but the thing is, if they're calling you about a property, you don't need that email. You can just pull it up in Paragon, super easy. If they're a hot buyer, then I want to get that email because I want to be able to check in on them whenever I want to automatically and see them. Okay, see what they're looking at. All right, so you want BCC me, you want to change the name of that search, and then result view right here. You don't want 6 per page, because you guys know about the different views in Paragon. You do, right? There's all fields detail, agent detail, client detail, all that kind of stuff. You pick the one that you want. I like client detail.
Well, you can't give them all fields detail.
Right.
You know, you could be fined by the board if you do.
There we
Just so
go.
you know that.
Oh, I
So,
know.
so
Yeah.
don't give them all fields detail.
Yeah.
Don't give them agent detail.
Yeah.
Because it just agent detail discloses commission amounts, and you don't want to do that either.
And it
Client,
says agent remarks.
that's right.
Yeah.
Client detail is what you want, or custom brochure, or any of these down here. But I do client detail, so I change it there. And then over here it says notify, and you get to choose. Do I want that to notify them immediately, like as soon as the listing's put in, like boom, they get an email right now, whether it's 10:30 p.m., whether it's 5 times a day. I mean, because what that's going to do is every single time a listing gets put in that matches your search, or a price change happens, they're going to get an email immediately. And if you build a big wide search, you don't want that. But now, the way that the market is, maybe you do. Because you can, if you miss a house for 24 hours, you might miss the house. So if they're really motivated and they've looked at everything on the market already, and you talk to them about receiving emails all the time, you can put this as immediately, and they'll know about stuff before you know about stuff, probably. They'll call you and tell you about houses, which happens to me. That's the only way I work. I don't really tell anybody about houses before they tell me, because I just send them to them automatically, and then they tell me what they like. So
Do you know if you send it, if maybe they're not real serious buyers and you just want them to get one a day because you don't want them to get 5 emails a day, do you know then if it does collectively everything that was there that
Yes.
was 24 hours?
Yes.
Is that the recurring?
That's recurring, so that's next.
So if you did only want one a day,
Then you click recurring. So I'm going to do that right now, okay?
Okay.
So if you don't want emails all day long, all night long, you click recurring.
okay.
Click recurring. You can't even close this without setting the time frame right here. It won't even let you cancel and go out. So I click set time frame. Now I'm going to make some choices here. I do mine the same every time. Well, most of the time the same every time. I've got it going daily. Now if I want to, and that means I'm just going to walk through what I've got set up here, okay? Mine's going every day, daily. That's Monday through Monday. And you can choose. I guess I could put every 3 days right here if I wanted to, and it would go Monday and then Thursday and then however many 3 days, Saturday and then Tuesday. Every 3 days would be weird, you know. I don't even know if you can do 2.5, but okay. Or you could click every weekday, and that would mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they get emails, but they don't get emails on Saturday and Sunday, which you might want because you don't want people calling you on Saturday going, oh, I want to see this house tomorrow. But maybe you do. Maybe you like to sell houses, so you just want them to come all the time.
That would be me.
But you know why I send mine at 10 o'clock in the morning is because I don't want it coming out to them at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they call me at 5 and say, I want to see this house. I want them to call me early in the day so I can schedule it before 7 p.m. That's why I want it coming out at 10. But I don't want it coming out at 8 in the morning, because if somebody puts a listing in at 9 a.m., then we miss it. Then we do miss 24 hours. So it's kind of like a choice. I pick 10 o'clock because I'm hoping that people will get in and get their listings put in. And I'm working with my own schedule so that I don't end up showing houses at 9 p.m. every day, you know. So you pick your own time. So if I did weekly, it would then I could pick each day that I wanted it to do. And if I did monthly, then I could pick this other stuff here. And I tried that. I tried to set something up for all my old clients, a search of their neighborhood monthly. And I did it for all my old clients. Cayenne did all that work. And people started opting out of my emails because they didn't want them anymore. So you can't, it's like going back and setting up a new search is going to get people to not, they're like, I don't want this from you. And then they cancel you. And once they opt out, you can't email them anymore from Paragon until they opt back in. So I'd be real careful about bombarding people with too much email. So I'm on daily, and I click OK. Now it's set up, and all I have to do is click OK.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Price change and new match. Could you put, like if Barbara wanted to set up expired or something, like if something expired, like a status change? There's some that you can do, and I tried to do this for, let's see. Yeah, you can pick any of these right here. And so this is how you're going to determine what emails they get. And I tell people that they're getting emails from me that are new matches to their search, new houses, or price changes. And I guess the other things that you can select are tour, open house, status change, and initial photo.
But they're going to get the tour if you give them the client detail. They can click on it.
I don't know what the tour is. The visual tour.
Yeah.
That might be what that is.
But
I don't
you
know.
wouldn't need to even click on it.
I don't think it is.
I feel like it's something else.
It's like, you know, when we used to do like actual home tour, not me because I'm too new, but like actual home tours. Like you can put like, I don't know, maybe they don't do it in this area or never have, but there's like a spot in Paragon where it doesn't matter.
It's
Don't
too much.
use it.
Don't use that.
Don't use
Right,
that.
yeah.
We don't have it in this area.
Okay,
Yeah.
go back and where did we do that?
We did that right here.
After
See?
you entered his name and the client details.
When we're in the email setup, when you're setting up the notification.
Okay.
So you can pick any of those things. For me, the photo change is irrelevant. I don't want them getting an email for that. The status change,
Well, if I don't have photos on there yet, and you wanted to get a notification when the photos are added.
that's a good idea. But they'll also already have that email from me, and they can just go back to it. The link stays
It'll
good.
still be there.
The link
Real-
stays
yeah.
current. Even if they change that listing 6 days later, if they go back to that email, it's still you still go to the listing. You always go to the current listing information. And Debbie asked what's the time period? I believe that it's just since what happens is, I think it's 24 hours. I don't really know, truthfully. I think or maybe it's since the last time your search ran. That logically, that's what it would be, because it's able to do that you can set the time period for anything you want. You can set it for a week, or you can set it for 2 days, or you can set it for 5 days. And so if you have this contact set up, the only way that could possibly work is if it knew the last time it ran the search for these people. So it's not necessarily the change in the last 24 hours. I believe it's the change since the last time the search ran for them. Because otherwise, if they only got an email once a week, it would only show them the new listings from the last 24 hours, and that wouldn't make any sense. Somebody would have complained about that and fixed that already.
I've only done the media one because I didn't know if it would get that how.
Yeah, I believe it's got to be since the last time, or else this is a terrible product. But Lawrence uses it, Topeka uses it. You know, we've been using Paragon for more than 10 years. There's no way that it's set up that way,
I did that.
unless nobody knows what's going on.
I guess I could set up a search for myself and say, you know, longer period of time and see what.
And you'll
But
know.
Barbara, this is where you can set yourself up so you would know when stuff expires.
Maybe yourself, because there's a limitation on sending out under contract. That's one thing. You can't set up a search that sends out properties when they go under contract.
It's only,
Yeah, for this is called prospecting, what we're doing right here. And for prospecting, there's a limitation on the status. But can you do it for expired, Amanda? Do you know?
why would you? Because it expires on the hot sheet.
That's right,
You
and
see
we're
it
gonna
every
talk.
day.
That's right.
Some people don't like the hot sheet.
And we'll talk about that too here. So what we did, we just now, and I click OK,
I learned that from you.
and now that email's going out every day, or however I set it up. And if I want to turn it off, I just come in here again and turn it off. And I'm just going to cancel it out. So it's gone, right? Everything we were doing is gone. If I want to find it, I just click contacts, and I do view, manage contacts, and I type in Jones, and it brings up all my Jones people. There's Larry X Jones. I click on his name, and we're right back where we were. If you want to find where that search is, it's right here under buyer activity. You click there. This is all I use in the contact.
Can you make notes in there
Yeah,
for you, because
right here.
you can send yourself one, but if your buyer doesn't have email,
Yeah,
then you got to, it's going to prompt you to. Of course, I usually have it here in column, but
yeah.
so where is that?
I mean, if it's not going to the buyer.
Yeah, because
If you wanna make notes.
I
buyer
have
doesn't have email.
old buyers that do something,
Yeah.
and I have them automatic email to it, and I'll just put in the body of it.
Yeah, no email, it's your call or something.
Yeah.
So,
If you want to make notes, you click, I'm going to have to explore here. You click dashboard for this particular person,
okay.
and contact activity, and note, that's not it. Oh yeah, there's notes right there, but you can't add them. Okay, so let's do general contact information. And there's
There's
comments. I don't know what that is.
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to type in, he is nice. Save. Now I'll go back to contact activity. Oops, save. Go back to contact activity, scroll down, it's not in notes. I don't know where that went.
most of the time I remember, but I just got back from vacation, I wouldn't.
Source comments, notes, let's see, contact activity. Can I add a note here? No records to view, no notes. I don't know
Is
how
it
to,
on the,
more information, notes right there.
Oh, okay, that was.
Add, and then I can add a note.
Okay,
Look
that
here.
was contacts,
It's
and you went down to.
contacts, I went to more
information.
information, and then I click on notes, and then I click add note right here. And then I gotta title it, I guess, nice, he is nice.
And the notes only goes to you and not the,
That's correct.
Okay.
This is a contact record that is all private. Nobody will ever be able to see this without your Paragon password,
okay.
okay? And then, so if you wanna know what's been sent, if somebody calls you and they say, yeah, you sent me an email on Saturday, and it's got listings in there, and I don't know what the address was, but it was over by the lake. And you, okay, well, what day? Saturday? So you go into the contact, you click email history down here at the bottom, and view email history, and it's gonna show you. So let me go into another contact real quick. Let me do Jessica.
Okay, she's in
Oh,
contacts.
let me show, I'm gonna type in the name Brown. Look how many, no. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different Browns from the last 10 years. Then I click here, Jessica Brown, and I'm in her contact. If I want to see when she got email, I've got 3 searches set up for her because it's complex. I had to draw maps and all kinds of stuff for her searches. I set up, you can only draw 3 shapes on a map, so I did Washington Rural, 21st and Fairlawn. And then I did one for high ceilings, which is cathedral ceilings and vaulted ceilings. And she's getting 3 emails a day, but that's what she wants. And if I want to see what she's been sent, then I click email history right here. And these are all the emails that she's got. 13 pages worth of emails. And I could go back on any one of them and open it, I believe. Can I?
Okay, now
maybe I can't. Oh yeah, when I click it, it appears down here. And then I just click the view links, and there they are. There's all the houses. That's the one house that was sent to her that day. And that's under contract now. And it's, so these links, they update. As the MLS information updates, it updates.
Okay, now, if she kept hers, would she still have that? Because she would,
Yep,
wouldn't
she would.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it wouldn't show her because it's client detail, it wouldn't show her the closing date and all the other stuff that we get.
That's right, because it's client detail. You see up here at the top of my client detail, see how I've got my name and phone number and telling you to call me and all that?
How do you do that?
Oh, yeah.
There's you can customize any detail sheet for the most part. So, and this is the way that you do that. I'm going to get out of contacts now and not talk about them anymore. Okay? So, all right. This is that search that we built for Larry Jones X. I'm in the search. Now I'm looking at detail sheets. You can customize any detail sheet that's in here. Who's aware of how to customize the information that's on a detail sheet?
Your
I
preference.
am, but not the top part with
Okay.
Well, yeah, but it's your preference.
Yeah, that's one thing. Okay, so what you do in agent detail, you can customize all of these right here, and you can customize this one down here. So the way that you do that is you click, and this is the way that you do it for client detail, and I'll do it for client detail right now so you can see that other thing I just showed you. So I do it in client detail. I do up here at the top, see on the bar it says customize.
Okay.
So if you click customize right here, it's going to pull up these two options. And the option that you want is fields. In a database, every piece of information, like the address, the status, the price, the beds, the baths, all that, each one of those pieces of information is called a field. Okay, and that's what we're doing. So we're customizing the fields, or customizing the information that's going into this sheet, this flyer, okay? So I click fields, and it's going to bring me this layout of the form. The stuff that's gray, you cannot customize. But the stuff that's white, and it says that right here, white section is customizable by double clicking. Gray section is not customizable. So how I customize this up here, there's a banner at the top. Right now yours says client detail. If you double click it, you can just change it. Like, let's see, I double click it, now it's letting me type. Mine's full, I'm pretty sure I can't put a letter in. Oh yeah. See? So after you do that, make sure if you're doing a lot of customizing that you click save and close. Because if you customize and you get the form exactly the way you want and you click the wrong thing, it's all gone. And you gotta start over. Done it many a times. So you click save and close and it's done, and it shuts the thing down. If you want to go back in and do it again, you click customize, you click fields, and you go back and you customize something else. For me, I don't want any useless information on there at all. You know, this is going out to my clients and I'm printing this out all the time. There's enough information in Paragon that I'm squeezing it in here. You know, I'm squeezing as much useful information onto this client detail sheet to where I don't have anything useless in there like fifth bedroom level. Like, I don't need that, you know? I mean, what else? I don't even know. Listing agent address. I don't need that on there, you know? So what I've got is all the stuff that when I'm out in the field, buyers can answer their own questions. The only stuff that I have that they can't answer, that I don't want them having, is like, I want to sound really smart about the price and about the timing of when the price changed and all that. So I'll show you in my agent detail what I've done. And then down in features, you can customize these too. And a lot of them you know, you just have to go, like the features, you have to go through all of them and pick what you want. Now, I'm gonna change one here. So let's say I wanna change one of these fields in the middle. Let's say that I wanna add 5th bedroom level, and I wanna add it over here, or I wanna add it right here. So I double click there, see that? Double click where I wanna add it. And what you see is, see all these that are listed right here, that are on my form right now? They're over here, they're on the right side.
Do your search.
And if I wanna remove one, then I click it, and I click remove, and I'm not gonna do that because I don't wanna mess up my form. And it's gonna take that from this side, and it's gonna move it back over here to this side. If I wanna add one,
Details.
then what I'll do is I'll
Down in the-
I'll click it,
yeah.
and I'll click add, and now it goes down to the bottom.
Up here.
But if I wanna move it somewhere, let's say I want it up at the top, I just grab it and move it. You can move it wherever you wanna move it, so you can make your sheet be exactly what you want your sheet to be. I don't want that on. Now I'm just gonna cancel that because I don't want any of that.
Yeah,
So cancel
that's all I know.
and cancel. Okay. Anybody have any questions about that?
See, here's the problem.
Uh-huh.
It's me, and I finally caught up
Uh-huh.
to this, but I missed some parts because I'm busy trying to find it on my computer.
That's awesome that we have Facebook video. Because,
Good job.
yeah, you
Good
can
job.
go back and
Thank
watch
you,
it later.
Amanda. No problem.
And everybody in the company, you can tell them to go back and watch it later too. And they can do the same class while they're at home.
Okay.
And other companies aren't doing that.
No,
All right.
we know that.
Okay. Does everybody feel good about that, about the customizing the form thing? You can, like I said,
Play around with that.
you can cut, yeah, and you do. It takes a long time to get it the way you want. I mean, if you look at my agent detail, you just know you've got all this information up here, so you don't need any of that in these. It's like duplicating the information. So I, go through and you customize what they see. Like they have everything that I have here usually, except for I have whether it's got flood insurance. I have the dollars per square foot. I don't know if that's on theirs. And then I have the date of the price. I have the original price. I have the asking price now. I have the date of the price and the date that the status changed. That way I can tell. One of the things I always say in the house is, well, this one is 124,000, but it was originally priced at 139,000. It's been this price for 2 weeks, and that tells us a lot about how much negotiating room we have. If it's been the same price for 6 weeks, then we have a lot more negotiating room than if it's been that price since yesterday. Okay. And then everybody knows if you click this teal colored D up here, it brings up the seller's disclosure, right?
Huh?
Yeah, the green D.
Teal,
Did you tell your buyers to click
I
on
did
that?
not know that.
yeah. You click the teal colored D, this appears on agent detail,
And
it
client.
appears on client detail. So anytime you email a listing out, I always tell them,
Yeah, I see that.
click the teal colored
See,
D.
I just learned how to do setting up showings about 6 months ago on our,
Sure.
I love it.
It brings up all the documents right there.
Oh
And
my
then
goodness.
go back to client detail. It's also on all fields detail, I believe. Teal colored D right there. History, the history's
Yeah.
there. Click the history.
Oh my goodness.
No,
I
the
sure didn't know
history's
that.
not on the client detail.
For,
No, but I did,
Yeah.
I've used the showing.
for showings, you just click this up here. From agent detail, there's a button right there, schedule a showing. You click that
Thank you.
and it takes you here, and then you can create a showing card and all that kind of stuff.
But our client, they can't.
They can't click, they
They
can't
don't have
schedule
that little
showings.
tab.
Yeah.
All
But
they
do.
have is the D and the maps, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, on client detail, if you sent them that agent detail, then they would have, they could
Yeah, I
click the
like it.
button.
But
And,
you shouldn't.
but they would still never, there's too many layers for them to actually get the information to get in, so I wouldn't worry about that. But client detail, it doesn't have a schedule of showing, it doesn't have the history either.
Oh,
It's got, what is this? This is community reports. So they can click that and it'll tell them all this stuff about stuff. So that's there, and then this, I don't know what this is, map, that just tells them where it is. So, let's see. Now, does this view right here over on the right where your reports are, you can customize this too. Did you guys know that? Like your favorite reports, you can expand any of this, and you can, you know, you can create I've got all these spreadsheets created, like I've got a vacant house list for open houses. I've got something that I use I've got my export sheets. Anyway, that's boring. But whatever you like, let's say that you created some kind of spreadsheet that you like, you can take it and drag it, you know, and pull it up here. Like I could take agent detail with pictures and drag it up here into my favorites, and I can put these in any order that I want. Which I have them in the order that I want. Right now, the default MLS always at the top, but I always use agent detail, client detail, Google Map. Sometimes I want to be able to click on the map. Custom detail, all fields detail. I don't really use that, so that's down here. Are you guys familiar with CMA summary view?
Yes. Oh, no, I use that a lot, yes. I use it all the time.
See, me too.
Oh, not that one.
Yeah, I use that a lot.
You
I use
use
it the quick view.
Quick
Yeah, I
View,
use that
CMA
too.
Quick View.
Yeah, that's what I use all the
So
time.
this is 4 properties right next to each other, and you can customize all of this stuff here too.
Yeah.
All of these fields on the left,
Oh.
you customize those. Same thing. You click customize, you click fields, and then you change everything. Here's what you have on your sheet. If you want to change it, you can click stuff and remove it, and click stuff and add it. It's these buttons in the middle. You highlight it, and then you select the action that you want to happen to what you highlighted here with this button in the middle. If you can't find the data that you're looking for, sometimes you have to change the group to find the field that you're looking for. So,
And it was hard for me to get the remarks in there,
uh-huh,
and it helped from Paragon because there wasn't enough room.
uh-huh.
But because I don't print all the listings for my listing appointment, I just print that with the remarks, and then I highlight so
Yeah.
I can get it all on one sheet.
This
But
is,
sometimes the remarks goes on the second sheet, but at least
Right.
I've got them.
But you can take out like zone and stuff if you're doing that, because you already have
So-
decided it. I don't even think I have basements on there, because I'm either using basements or not using basements.
mhm.
I mean, that makes more room for your remarks if you don't have too many fields, that's up above.
I did this a long time ago
Me too.
to line up with appraisals. So I've got fireplace in there, the type of heating, whether the basement, there is a basement, whether the basement is finished.
You have a lot of them. Does it print on one page then?
Is it print on one page?
I don't know.
Do you work for hire?
I'm gonna say, it took me hours to get my remarks in there.
Yeah,
So, but I've got more in there. I got days on market, because
mhm.
I want them to see that
Yeah.
when I present them.
The thing about remarks is that it takes up so much room.
It does.
So it almost has to be last. Like you have to put it
It
last.
is, yes,
Or if you put it first, it'll knock out all your other fields.
No, it's
if
last.
there's way too many remarks.
it's last.
Now, the one that I was asking about is this one here. This is CMA summary. This takes them all. Let me show you a different search.
I don't.
Let's see, property searches. Let's do comps. Let's do one. I'm gonna do. So you've got search. I've got. This is one I did for a CMA. So then I click CMA summary here. This is just a regular search. Okay, this is a search that I did for comps for somebody. I just did it so that I can show you the separation. In the CMA summary report, see it separates them by active listings, sold listings, pending listings,
Yeah, we do.
expired, withdrawn, all that. And then all these fields in here, you can customize those too, the same way. But there's a limit to how many you can put in there. If you put remarks in there, this thing's gonna be so long, you know. But I've got the stuff in there that I wanna use for active is, I just wanna I print this at the back of every showing packet that I take out there so that in the field we can talk about dollars per square foot. and whether this is a good price or not a good price. Because a lot of times I don't even know. How do I mean, I'm not that good to where I can know what the right dollars per square foot is for a different, a neighborhood, you know? I mean, I am, but I'm saying it's hard to know that for all of Topeka. Sally might know that, but.
Well, you just search it by, I don't ever do searches for all of Topeka though.
Well, but see,
It's usually the school.
yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about searching. I'm talking about being out in the field and sounding educated at the showings, like without doing homework, you know? I mean, because you have it with you all the time, and now you can have a conversation about dollars per square foot and the difference between Washburn Rural and Topeka West or something like that, because you have this information all the time. But I've got beds, baths, garage capacity, style, year built, general tax, lot size, main finished area, basement finished area, elementary school, total finished area. These are over here are always there. Finished area total, days on market, list price, and price per square foot. In the sold, I also have the date that it's sold, the closing date. So I use this.
Now, do you
all-
have pending on yours too?
Yeah, right there. There's one pending for this. And that's just built according to whatever search you're running there. So the quick search, this right here, is anyone annoyed by how much I say this right here? Somebody told me that that's annoying. And then I noticed it and now I'm annoyed by it.
You're saying what? This right here?
This right here, this right here.
All right, anyway.
I
I got a
noticed
meeting at
it.
11.
Whatever,
So-
however you need to say it, say it.
This right here, the quick search, I use this, you use this all day long, right?
Yeah.
What, have you guys ever customized this?
No.
Yeah, you can search by anything you want here. So quick search, whatever you use to find houses, you click edit widget right here. And that's gonna allow you to do exactly the same thing that we're doing on all the forms. Is you go in and you customize. So what I've got, so if you want to add something, if I want to be able to search by balance of specials, I click add and apply, and now balance of specials shows up at the bottom of my quick search. You guys can't see that, can you? See, my quick search has the stuff, I use this, I mean, the way I've got it set up, I can find any listing with any piece of information, with the littlest bit of information right now. By, you tell me that you know the number of the house, I can just find it by the number. If you know the MLS number, it's right there. If I'm looking for, if I just know that it's listed by Sally Brooke, I just type in Sally.
Yeah.
You know, this is only gonna be, this is gonna be everything. This is gonna search sold
I didn't know you
listings.
could add to that.
But you can put active in there and know what she's got active.
That's right.
Yes,
Somebody
or
calls me
pending
up.
I've done
or-
that before.
Oh, yeah, I've done that a lot.
Because I knew it was a certain agent.
Subdivision, year built, balance of specials. You actually can't even search by balance of specials because that's not a numerical field. That's an alphabetical field in our MLS, and you can't use it to search. You'd have to guess exactly the dollar amount to search by that. Okay. If you ever find anything that's wrong in somebody's listing,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
which we always do,
And by the way, especially the Coldwell Banker agents, it is helpful if you send them a text, because sometimes they'll enter residential as a maintenance free, and if you catch it, I want somebody to catch mine, so I usually help somebody. I don't help the other agents, but I do ours.
here's how you help the other agents by reporting them to the board. Is if you're in a listing and something's incorrect, you click correction right here, and you just type, this is a message that goes to Christy Standifer, and you type, it's messed up in bathrooms. Like they've got now you would type wrong number of bathrooms, and you'd click send, and this message would go to Christy Standifer, and she would contact that person and say, hey, your listing has the wrong number of bathrooms.
But I don't wanna help them,
Right.
so I don't.
But sometimes they've got their phone number in there, and that's illegal. And so you put, hey, there's a phone number in here that's not supposed to be in there. Because that means that's showing up on websites out there
Yes.
where it's not supposed to show up. So I want to go back to CMA summary real quick. If you're customizing that one, there's something that you should know. Let's say I want to customize this one, and I want to customize I want to take out basement finished area, right? But I want to take it out for sold. If I click customize right now, and I do fields, if I take out basement finished area right now, oops. If I were to remove it and click save, and then go back to this, it actually wouldn't take it out of the sold area. Because to do that, I have to switch it up here. I have to switch to sold in order to switch the stuff in sold.
Okay.
Something that's also important is,
Now, if you take the basement square footage out, your total square footage still includes the basement, right?
it does.
Okay.
Yep. Now, if I want to customize this sheet, I can't, there's something that's very important you need to remember. If I change stuff inactive, and I do it all right now, I add stuff and all that, whatever, and then I don't click save, and then I go over here and I think that I can change some in sold, and then I can go down and I can change some in pending, it's not going to save all those. You have to, once you change them in active, you have to save that, close it, open it back up, customize it again, customize the sold, okay? It will erase what you did. And then you'll go out there in the field and you say, what? Why does my active disagree with what my sold is? I'm using this sheet in my CMAs I've got a super long list, and I go through and I highlight the stuff that's close. Like if I'm doing a house that's got 1,300 square feet, then I'd go through and highlight this one and this, let's see here. I'd highlight this one and this one and this one, but not this one and not this one. And then eventually when I'm
How do you
going,
highlight them?
print it out and use a highlighter. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got a piece of.
That's
We
what
can
I do.
handle that.
That's what I do.
I
Okay.
can handle that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Lukey, I
This
thought you had it.
is Sally's portion. Come on up here, Sally. Okay.
What color do you use?
You gotta put the dunce cap on.
But so you'll go through this whole list and you'll highlight stuff that's similar about each property, and then you can find, these three are very similar, while the other ones are just barely similar. And that's a good way to pick similar properties out of a big list. All right, the map. You guys familiar with using the map to do searches?
No?
Is that the rubber band?
Yes.
I can't do that. Susie can, but I
Okay,
can't.
I wanna see this. Okay, go
Okay,
back. Where
I'm
did I
starting
go?
starting from zero.
Okay.
Right where you're at, Maggie.
Yes,
We're at zero.
okay, I'm at 0.
Okay.
Where do you go? Hit
So I
click
do
on the map.
search. I click search. I start a residential search.
Okay, this, I gotta be fast.
Then I do this. It's got all my old criteria in for this guy. Then I click search by map. You guys probably can't see that, can you?
Search by map.
Yeah.
Possible.
And that's
Where's that at?
under the
Where's that?
age.
Yeah.
It's under the approximate age.
If you don't have, well, it's not
Where am I
because
gonna
I
find
put
that?
mine. I put mine in there.
Okay.
So where
You
am I
probably
looking
have it.
for?
Here's what you're looking for. See this?
little-
Why don't you
If I
just
did-
go to
I can do
mapping?
this.
Why don't you just go to search and then mapping? It'll be easier for them.
Search and then
by-
mapping.
come on,
Yeah.
searches that come
Yeah,
up.
I think
Click
she-
search
Maggie's gonna have
and
to
then-
add hers.
and then do
Yeah, I
mapping.
don't have
You're gonna have to adjust it in your fields.
And then you can add
Okay.
your other criteria.
Okay.
Search by map.
All right.
Are you
Sounds
doing
good.
the big map or that?
Or search and map,
Come
or
here.
search and map.
Get my son now.
Search, click mapping. This is assuming that you're going to start with a map, okay? But I don't want to do it that way, because if you're building your search and you're probably starting with bedrooms and bathrooms and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
if you don't want to get in there and then be like, okay, how do I do the map? You
Yeah,
have
I'd
to
like to have one like Washburn Rural School, do that map.
see this thing right here. See
Yeah.
this little globe with
Yeah.
a magnifying glass. You look for that and you click that, okay?
Okay.
The globe with the magnifying glass. If it's not there, you can customize searches too. See how we were customizing those reports?
Okay, right,
And-
and then you gotta find the map. on-
When we were customizing reports, we used customize and we used fields, right?
What was that called?
Yes.
What?
Search
Yeah.
Normally it's under advanced agent.
It's called
Or
search by
advanced
map.
On the bottom. It's on
You
the
click
bottom.
customize, you click fields, and then up here at the top, you could just type in the word map. And it should pull up.
But you already have it, so it's
I
already
already-
on your right side.
You got it, exactly.
Mine didn't come up with anything.
It's on the bottom, since you already.
Sometimes it's down here in
It's under
advanced,
advanced criteria.
advanced criteria. I've moved it out of advanced criteria because I want it always open. I want it in my primary criteria.
In alphabetical order.
So I had customized it. So if you don't have it, you look in advanced criteria at the bottom and it should be there. It's just that I've moved mine.
Where the heck is it? Okay, we really want to learn this, Lee.
Maybe it's,
I know.
might already be down here.
Is it down in advanced criteria at the bottom, Boomer?
Probably. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Where's it at?
It's already here. You want me to put it up here? You want me to-
Yes,
Don't do that
but-
now. Let me show her how to use this real quick and then do it.
So you'll click on search by map.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. All right. Now everybody looking at the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So the way you do it is you click the globe with the little magnifying glass. You click it. It's going to open up the map right now. And let's say that I know where. Let's say that I'm.
A lot of people say they don't want to live east of Gage
Okay.
or east of Fairlawn.
If nobody wants to live east of, let's just be politically correct about this, and let's say that they want to.
You could go by
They
grade
wanna-
school though, can't you?
They want to live in Westboro.
Okay.
Okay.
They want to live in
Okay.
Westboro.
All right. There you
So you have a variety of different options under draw. So you click up here in the top, you click draw. Draw is going to give you these different ways of searching. If I want to do a radius, if I just want to do a circle, I would click radius, and then I would go over here to miles, and I would do 0.5 miles or whatever I want to do. And then I would click draw, and it draws a circle, and that's where this search is going to search,
I'll be darned.
right there. And in order to make it part of the search, I have to click add criteria.
So
I would-
can you
I would
slide
click
that circle wherever you want it?
You
to?
cannot.
Oh,
You have locked it in.
But that's not Western.
That's right. So I messed up. So if I either click cancel or I click add to criteria. Once I add it to criteria, it shows up in the field there and says shape 1, radius 1. If I want to delete it, I just click the little X right here.
Right.
You know how to do that while you're still.
Goes
there,
away.
right?
I don't. Can you
Okay.
show me?
Yeah, do it again.
could you have just added subdivision Westboro,
You
and
could
then it
have,
would have
yeah.
come up?
You without mapping it.
Yeah, but we're doing mapping though.
Try,
Okay.
let's say we're doing a CMA, and you want to do a half mile
Okay.
radius, because that's more. It makes. I understand what you're saying about the buyers, but I think it's kind of confusing them.
Okay.
By
Let's.
not using actually Westboro.
So
Okay.
when you draw a place instead of that red dot, you want somewhere else.
Let's say that I want to find out about how I've got a house that's coming up to be listed on 17th Street, and it's right here at 17th and Seabrook, and it doesn't have a basement. Okay, so I know it's not anything like these Westboro houses over here, and it's nothing like the houses, over here in Quinton Heights or whatever. It's not, they're too far away, but it is like these houses over here on Drury Lane that I have. So if I want to draw a map, I click draw, and I click polygon. Polygon is going to allow me to draw whatever shape I want right now. So I start and I click somewhere, and then I start drawing this map, this shape. And I draw it over to the highway, and I click again, and I draw it over to 17th
That's
Street,
amazing.
and I click again, and I draw it down here to Gage, and I click again, and I draw it over here to Huntoon, and I click again, and I draw it over here, and I click, and I double click.
Never knew they did that.
Once I double click, it builds my map, and I can click add to criteria. If I want to, I can draw another one. This time I'm just gonna do a rubber band,
That's what Susie does.
and then I'll just click, pull, click, and it does a square wherever I want it to be. Yes.
And up there next to draw where it says edit, if you'd like to erase it, you can erase it there.
Where? Oh, edit. Awesome. Did not know that. Thank you very much. That's what I was
How
looking.
come it has the two?
I just
No,
deleted
how
it.
come it's got the purples? The purple dots?
Those are the.
Those are the
properties.
actual, the listings.
Ah.
Oh.
And the way that they're doing this, I've complained about it on Paragon right now. I don't like that. I don't want it grouped. I want to know how many there are and what price they are. Like this. This is awesome. What we're looking at here is awesome. This is useless. You know, this doesn't help me. So
Did you double click the start of your draw? I can't start drawing. Oh, never mind.
you just single click to draw.
Okay.
Now,
I'm in trouble.
so if I want to draw, I can do this. I can just, let's say that I've got something out on highway or out on 46 like I do, 2540 northeast 46th. If I type in that address, sometimes I have to put in Topeka, Kansas. I click enter, it takes me out there. Now, if I just want to go 2 miles away, then I'm going to do draw. I'm going to do radius. I'm going to go over here, put 2 miles, and I'm going to push enter, and it's going to draw me a circle right there, and that's now my search area. That's where I'm searching. But remember, I also had this square over here that I drew earlier. So if I want to get that out of there, then I click edit, and now that square is gone.
That is amazing.
All my CMA searches are done with circles, or if it's a strange neighborhood that's next to a shopping center, that I'm drawing polygons and going out and finding other houses in other places.
Okay, now what is that gonna bring up for you?
I click add to criteria. Nothing because of how I've got this built, because I've got Topeka.
Oh,
Let me see, I've got Topeka, I've got price. Now it's got two comparables out that way because I've got, it's only active stuff. Now if I want it to be sold and pending, it's gonna bring up 132. For some reason I made an error.
oh, it's because you've got active, that's why. You can't have a closing date and active together.
Well, you can. You can run those searches together. Something's going
You
wrong.
can?
Yeah, something's going wrong with the, I don't know what. Real quick.
Never seen that dinosaur.
Right.
That's another class.
All right. So I'm just gonna do one real quick. I've got saved searches. Yeah, there's no internet connection. That's what's wrong at the moment. They shut me down. Okay, that was that search. That search right there. I don't know why it's not showing me the count. Came up with 21. That was that search that we just did. Click search. And then here's all the listings that came up in that search. Actives, solds, because that's all I had picked. You can look at it in the map. You know, that's the circle that we drew. That's where they're at. You can look closer at them. That kind of thing. Because we're in the Google Map view. This used to be called Bing Map, but they've recently switched it to Google Map in the past week or two. So when I'm setting up a showing tour, let's say that I was going to go out and show,
Oh, I see.
save property searches.
For showings. I'm just trying to figure out whether.
Say that Jessica Brown that I was working with earlier wants to go look at some houses. There's 15 on her list right now. When I'm doing a tour, I do this. So let's say we're going to go to all 15 of these houses. We're not. I'm going to pick 6. I go to the map, and I know where they are. Look at the map that I drew for her search. because she's told me where she wants to be. So I look at this and I know that there's 7 of them, and they're in this order. They're right now they're 3, 6, 7, 1. I can reorder them right now. Like let's say
Did this put them in the order for you, or the order of her preference?
this is in order of price.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I want to put them in order for the ease in printing, right now, I want to start at 3, and then I want to go to 6 and go to 7, and then whatever these are, 4 and 5, and then 2, right? So what I would do is this is 3, 6, 7. Nobody talk now, okay? 3, 6, 7, 4, 5, 2. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to reorder these. I'm going to pull number 3 up to the top. 6, I'm going to pull that and make that the second one. 3, 6, 7. I'm gonna make 7 the second one. 4, 5, 2. I don't know. I got confused in there. 4, 5, 2.
So it'd be 6.
4, 5. It'd be 6. I'm sorry. All right, and then I can just go back and check, right? So I reordered them. Now I go back to the map,
I might be wrong.
and this is the order they show up in now. See how I did it? 1, 2, 3.
Oops.
It's out of order. 1, 2, 3. I want to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 4. Everybody hates this.
Or you guys could just print them and put them in the order.
It's
Just
yeah,
put
you
4
can.
Just put 4 at the end.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that if you want to, but you're going to sit there at your desk and then you got to get it all in order. But you know what I can do right now is I just go,
That's what I do.
let's look at this map, all right? Make sure it's in the right order.
Or just put them all in showing time and it'll tell you what order.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I just go to print plus right now, and I print all 7. I do the Google map, I do agent detail, client detail, CMA summary, add it, print. They all print out in order.
Now my print.
And I don't
plus
have to
doesn't
be
work
doing any of
anymore.
this. What's
I
that?
can only use print. I always use print plus. In the last month, I have to use print only.
You better call Paragon support about that one. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is.
Okay.
This right here saves me a lot of feeling like I'm in the 80s, you know, or feeling like I'm at my first clerical job, where I got a stack of papers here. I'm like, okay, this one's here, this one's here. Where's that one go? Why do I have to do this? You know, this is really easy. That's it.
Yeah, me too. I don't know how to do what you just said. It's too confusing.
Christy has to do that for me, and she hates doing that. She gets really confused doing that because we're moving these, you know, I'm just moving these around. And it's really hard because every time you move, when I move 2 and I move it here, the numbers all change. So you actually have to track what you just changed.
I write the addresses down, the addresses only, so I can go back and just switch it by addresses. It's
That-
the easiest for me.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. I like to challenge myself and see if I can do it on one try. So, anybody have any questions?
Show.
Okay, well, that was the finale. Boomer has a question.
How many, you said something about being back in the 80s. How many real estate transactions did you do in the 80s?
Not very many.
We tried.
Was
We
he
tried.
bored?
We were the interest rates were too high.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, no.
They
Just-
did a lot then, but they were mostly contract for deeds, so I'm told.
Yeah.
Because the rates were too high, so.
I was talking about Lou personally.
Oh,
It was a lot of creative financing.
Oh,
that's what everybody says.
you guys
I
know?
looked like I was.
Do you guys know
thinking, but
about
I
listing carts? Do you know about listing carts? Anybody?
No.
wasn't. Well,
I better show you this.
Yeah.
I better show you listing
I did a
carts.
single,
I do the same.
Okay,
5 times.
so the search that I just did right here, all these,
Yeah.
I've got 7 properties that I want to see. Sometimes I need to go back and do another search so I can build this appointment that we're doing later. And I don't want to, if I click the wrong thing, I can just totally mess up and have to start over. So right now, I've got these 7 highlighted. Okay, I do save to listing cart. And then I would create a new listing cart right here. And I would call it this guy's name. I'd call it Jones X. And then I would put show 3-22. That way I can search for it. So I'm putting that this is a list that I'm showing him. and I'm putting a date that I'm doing it. That way I can go back and look at this cart. Click save. It's going to pop up right here. I click, make sure it's the 7 that I selected, and I save it. Right? So now there's this list. Let's say that I accidentally did this. All the ones that I highlighted, where are they? Now I got to go back and go through this list and deselect the ones that I don't want and all that. And that I just messed up a
And
lot of my
resort.
work.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm under pressure. I lost a lot of time.
yeah.
But don't worry, because I saved them to a listing cart. And you know what? It turns out that that I also like this one. I like this one down here now. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to do save to listing cart. And I'm going to pull that listing cart back up, and I know what it is because I'm just going to type 3-22. It's going to pull all of them up that have 322 on them, and there's Jones X right there. Click that,
You're
save,
back.
save. That listing cart had 7 in it, but now since I added it, it's got 8. So I go search, listing carts. Right here, I type in 3-22. It pulls up Jones right there. There's 8 of them in there because I added one. Click that. And now those are the only ones that I'm even looking at. I don't have to worry about that whole long list. They're all right here. And now I can do my
And are they
reorganization.
still in order?
Nope,
Hey, Mom.
they're by price now.
Can you put on the other
So now you would do like your regular showing probably, given the time.
Yes, right now if I wanted to schedule showings, I'd go to agent detail and I would click here, schedule a showing. It would pop this up. I'd schedule it, I'd create a cart. I'd go back, I'd go to the next one. I'd click schedule a showing, schedule it, go back, go to the next one, click schedule a showing, except it's not on there. Go to,
It seemed like that would save much more time just scheduling the showing.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just really impressed.
I don't know.
Or maybe we're still going back and forth.
How do you do it? How do you do?
I usually do it that way.
Oh,
I mean, like, not your way, but one at a time.
yeah. But let's just say that right
Just add
now,
it to the cart.
it's all gone. Everything I was doing is gone.
Well, it's still in your showing cart.
It's in my showing cart. Or no, it's not in my show. Yeah, but what if you got to print out the listing sheets?
Yeah.
You know? Well, now I got to go find all those listings again. Except for I don't. Because they're in the listing cart, and I just type in Jones. Jones 322 is right there, and now it's all back up again. And I say, and you know what? 2 years from now, I can go back to this listing cart again. 10 years from now. I mean, how many listing carts do I have? I have 38 pages of 25 listing cards.
Oh, my Lord.
Wow.
And for me, Thompson, I've got comparable searches and listing cards from houses that I bought 5 years ago that I can look at. There's no point in erasing anything ever. Any of these. That's all.
Because I had a number from.
Ta-da!
You did good.
Okay,
Thanks.
is it real estate
Yeah.
related?